Hi, my name is Summer. I am originally from Aden, Yemen. It's pronounced Aden, Yemen in Arabic. And if no one knows where that is, it is a small country on the tip of the peninsula of Saudi Arabia. And I was born in 1967. And my parents moved to the U.S. in 1969. So I don't remember much about Yemen, but I do know a lot of stories that my parents shared with us and the reason why they left. They left in 1969 because the British were occupying Aden at the time, and they wanted to leave all the fighting and things that were going on around there and the instability to a country where they felt they could have opportunity. So they came to the U.S. and they landed in, I guess, Michigan. They came to Michigan. That's what they selected to stay. And there was a huge Muslim population in Detroit, Michigan at the time. So my dad found a job there, and we stayed there for 10 years until we moved to California. So just wanted to say a little bit about myself, is that being an American Arab is not always easy, especially for my sisters who wear a scarf, or my mom who wears a scarf, because they are picked on and have people who have called them names, people who have chanted some mean stuff in the mall. My sister in the bank was asked if she worshipped Satan, and the list goes on. Unfortunately, the times are tough right now to be a Muslim. 9/11 didn't help us. A few bad seeds had to ruin it for the rest. There were people that I know after 9/11 that were injured. Friends of friends who were beat up because they were Muslim. Unfortunately, people who were not Muslim, like Sikhs, because they wore a turban on their head, people assumed they were Muslim. They were killed. I know a woman who lost her child because people thought she was just a Muslim, and they wanted to hurt her. Unfortunately, people don't understand who we are as Muslims, that the majority of us, and I mean the majority, mainly, it's a peaceful religion, and we love to invite people and entertain, and we're very friendly with people. Unfortunately, it's not always looked like that. It doesn't always look like that on TV. We're portrayed as terrorists, but we're not. And even today, which really shocks me in the year 2017, that we've come a long way with rights for so many people in the U.S., that it's sad that that we have to still, find people who are now discriminating us regarding, Trump now. Trump has put a really bad situation worse, I guess. He has instilled fear in the Arab community. I can tell you that the day that Hillary lost was a very scary time for many, many Muslims, many Arabs, and I'm sure even the Latino community. I could hear that they were very scared about what tomorrow holds for us. So after Trump was elected and he instilled his rule of certain countries of not coming to the U.S., one of those countries was Yemen, our country. And it's sad that my aunt, my cousin, and those people who have visited the U.S. before are now unable to come to visit us, to see their family who may be ill here. And it's just a difficult time. It's a sad time that we live in right now. Yeah. Well, the first thing a Muslim does when they greet people, they say Salam alaikum, which means peace be upon you. And the response is Wa alaikum assalam, and may peace be upon you as well. And that's really truly what people wish for. And I think lately in the news, somebody quoted something about Islam, is that if you hurt one person in mankind, as if you hurt all of humanity. So it's that strong, that we try so hard to be good people and to respect others, their religion, their ways, their culture. And we would hope that the same would be for us as well. The one thing that brings all these Muslims and non-Muslim Arabs to the U.S. is opportunity. As we know, it is not always our fault for what is happening around the world. British occupying Yemen was one of the reasons. My husband, who is also Palestinian, the British allowing the Jews to enter and to take part of Palestine is another reason they had to flee. And another reason why my husband's here in the U.S. to find better opportunity from a refugee camp in Lebanon to the U.S. So the reasons why we are here are not always our fault or our country's fault, but is other countries that are occupying these places that force people like us to flee. We have tried to live the American dream, and we would hope that Trump and future leaders would allow us to do that, just like Trump's ancestors came here and did the same thing and wanted the same dream. Some of the racist actions that were, targeted towards my mother, for example, when she started wearing her scarf in the mall. In the 70s, the Iran hostage situation, there was a song, Bomb Bomb something, and they changed it to Bomb Bomb Iran. So they started singing to her Bomb Bomb Iran, even though we're not from Iran. But we're all thrown in a pile because the Middle East is very misunderstood to so many people. So it doesn't matter what country in the Middle East, it seems like the discrimination is towards all of them. I did. I was young, but of course, you defend, or you say something back, or you just walk by. You really don't want to create any problems. Yes, I think a lot of Muslims were worried that they would be gathered and put into a camp, just like the Asians were back in the day. I don't know what year that was, honestly. I wish I did. But a lot of Muslims were worried that we would now be forced to live in a certain community or be deported, even though we're U.S. citizens. So that would be sad. Yeah, I think when my parents came in 1969, don't know exactly what kind of discrimination they had because I was so young, but I do know that they lived a happy life. They integrated into the American culture. They had neighbors who were Americans. They had a Christmas tree. So as far as the neighbors concerned, they did. Live a happy life. I can't recall any problems that they had. But after 9/11, that changed a lot. 9/11 really changed people's opinion on and targeting people, and the whole scarf, the whole call to prayer, the whole everything. People were scared of it. I'll tell you a really good example. My brother-in-law, who prays 5 times a day, and if you know anything about Islam, they pray and they bend down and they bow down. And he was on an airplane after 9/11, and he had missed one of his prayers, so he started praying on the airplane. Well, some passenger was really scared because this gentleman was praying as a Muslim on the airplane. So they delayed the plane. They actually took him off the plane, and they told him, "Sorry, sir, we need to check you out, and we need to see what you're doing." They were afraid that he was making his final prayer before this plane was going to take off. So unfortunately, even a simple prayer on an airplane scares people, because it is not the way Christians pray, or Catholics, or Buddhists, or whatever religion. In the U.S., there's several religions, of course. We are a melting pot here. That the religion of Islam scares people, and we still, till this day, I have my cousin who worked for DHL for many years. When he flies on the plane, he gets the red carpet treatment. What we call the red carpet treatment is TSA takes him aside, checks him out, doesn't allow him to go on the plane right away. He misses flights. He's held before and after a flight. And the company DHL has to call and tell him that he is traveling for work, and excuse him or pardon him, or make sure that this is why he's traveling. It's sad, very sad, that he has to experience that every time he flies. Trump, oh boy, we don't know what Trump's going to bring to us, but what he's brought to us so far is pretty scary. We are worried. We are worried of discrimination beyond, the norm, I guess, of normal discrimination that African Americans may face, or Latinos may face. We are scared that we will not have our civil rights with Trump. I think that he has already shown us that his way of thinking is frightening. His way of dealing with politics is scary, and we hope that the people who help him make these decisions, it will get better. But the ban on Muslim countries, or the ban of targeting Muslim countries, is crazy. It's crazy, and I'm so happy to see that certain politicians are standing, and judges and federal judges are standing against it.